guys, Amy here from Plans Meet Paper, and today I wanted to come on and show you guys inside my planner and show you guys some of the different planning pages and planning tools that I have used to prepare for a new baby and also to make it through those first several months with a new baby. So I'll go ahead and flip the camera around and give you guys a peek. Okay, so here is my Filofax Malden planner. It's in the A5 size, and this is what I've been using for the past several months. I do switch the binder out sometimes, but the contents have stayed the same. And I do have a setup video of this whole planner, and I'll link that down below in case you're interested. But I'll go ahead and jump into some of the different planning tools that I have found super helpful in the first couple months of having a new baby. So of course there's the obvious planning, which is just my regular old monthly calendar, weekly calendar, and daily page planning. So that's just where I keep appointments, tasks, to-dos, all the regular stuff, but having a very consistent place to keep track of it all is so helpful when you have a new baby because of course you're exhausted and it's hard to remember everything. Plus you usually have a bunch of extra appointments for both you and for the baby in those first couple months. So it's very helpful to have one place where you keep track of all of your appointments and dates, and then you can fit in your to-dos as much as possible kind of in between all of that stuff and just regular baby care. So, basic planning, super helpful, but I'll jump into some different tools that maybe are less common. The next thing that I have really enjoyed using for the past several months is a daily routine tracker. And this is just a 7-column tracker, and I went ahead and typed in my everyday to-dos, and I use this to track all of those really simple, basic things that I do every single day and to check them off throughout the week. Now, I don't use this because I actually need help remembering all of these things. I've been doing most of these things for long enough now that I totally remember them, know to do them. But this tracker really helps me to fight that feeling of overwhelm at the beginning of the day, and also the feeling of kind of like defeat at the end of the day where you feel like, oh my goodness, I worked so hard all day taking care of kids, but I got nothing done. What did I do all day? I feel like that's a very common feeling for a new mom. Or an experienced mom with a new baby. Doesn't matter. Everyone feels that way at the beginning of having a new baby. So something like this where you kind of keep track and you can check off all of those little things that you have to do, but you don't want to write down every day. This kind of has helped me mentally to fight those feelings throughout the days and weeks of having a newborn. I kind of mapped this out right after I had my second son, because there are certain routines that maybe you weren't in the habit of, but that can really help things go smooth when you have a newborn in the house. So things like making sure I clean my bottles and my pump first thing in the morning, every morning, getting them sanitized. I pump late at night, and so I don't always clean them late at night because I'm too tired. I just soak them. Or I'll clean them, but I won't sanitize them. So making sure I get that done first thing in the morning so that they're ready is super helpful. Things like in the evening, making sure that I do my baby prep, which is like laying out burp cloths for the next day, laying out bibs, putting things in places where they're helpful, making sure I have diapers stocked in the different locations. That is really helpful. Delay starting my laundry the night before so that it's already washed in the morning, super helpful. So this can kind of be something you can map out shortly after having a baby to kind of help you figure out what routines set you up for success throughout the day and for the following day. So this has been a very helpful printable. I've also been doing a mental health tracker where I track my different kind of moods. And this, I think, is something that has been really helpful as well, that I did not do at all with my first child, and I wish I did, because postpartum depression and anxiety are super common, and yet, especially for first-time moms, I feel like most people don't really prepare for them. They always tend to take you off guard, or at least that's how it was for me. I did not think that that would be something I would struggle with, and I really did. So this second time around, I've been very intentional about preparing for it and trying to have the best mental health that I can. And it's made a world of difference in my breastfeeding journey, in just how I have felt and how I can look back on these last several months. So definitely recommend trying to do some practices, whatever will be helpful for you to help your mental health, whether that's journaling, doing some sort of faith devotional, a mental health tracker, a gratitude tracker. I do several of those other things on my daily pages, which I'll show you right on the back of my daily pages, like my devotional and my gratitude and things like that. But I've also been doing this mental health tracker, and I found it really helpful. Next is a medical appointment tracker. So this is where I track any appointments and questions for the doctor for both me and for my children. So this is the page I use. It's just a 2-column page, and that way, as an appointment is approaching, I can keep track of the questions I have, and then I can actually take notes on it during the appointment, and I can look back on that throughout the months and remember, what did the doctor say about that, or when did I have that symptom, etc. This is something that's so helpful and can really kind of take some of that off your mind as you have a new baby. Next is a meal planner. There's tons of different ways to do meal planning, but the way that I've been doing it this time around is just so simple, and it's been really helpful. I haven't stuck to this, the entire 6 months of having a new baby, but anytime I feel overwhelmed, I fall back on this, and it's super helpful. I made this before my baby was born, and it's just a 5-week meal plan with really simple family favorite meals that I know my 2-year-old will eat, my husband will eat. Well, he eats everything, so that's not no worry, but just easy things to make, easy things to shop for that are family friendly. So I have listed all those out, and then I also went ahead, I'll turn this back around, and wrote out the grocery list for each of those weeks so that I literally can just open this up, plan on having these 5 meals and go get these things from the store. And I don't have to think about it. All of the work is done. It's just simple and ready to go. So that is another thing I would highly recommend, is some sort of meal planning system. And if you can take the work out of it, the more the better. Next, I have my Fly Lady plan, which this is kind of like my control journal section for Fly Lady. I've talked about this in several other videos, but basically just having some sort of like home keeping plan. Of course, when you have a new baby, everything goes out the window for a little bit, and you just have to give yourself grace. But having something to fall back on, having some kind of mindless things that you can do to kind of try to keep your house going can really help. So I have, different things that I try to do each day of the week. I always try to do my cleaning, my weekly cleaning on Mondays. I always try to, get my desk work done on Tuesdays, etc. And then I always have like the same tasks that I try to get done every week for my cleaning. So those can be really helpful. You don't have to use Fly Lady or any specific plan. Do what works for you. But I think this can be so helpful, just having kind of some sort of system to fall back on to help yourself mindlessly work through some of that home cleaning tasks when you're exhausted and busy thinking about other things. And then lastly is my baby section in my planner. And this has changed and evolved, over the course of having, my first son into toddlerhood and then having a second child, but it's been so helpful the whole time. And right now, this is what I've got in here. I've got my feeding, nap, and activity kind of plan for the day. And this is something I love doing every time that my baby kind of transitions to a new eating schedule. He's breastfed, so he definitely adjusts as he grows, and his ability to drink more and sleep longer or those kind of things changes. So this has been so helpful for me, trying to figure out what is my toddler going to be doing while my newborn or 5-month-old or whatever has to eat. What activities can I do to kind of mix it up for him, to keep him busy, to make sure that he'll be safe while I'm nursing the baby? And so this has been something that's been so helpful. And I can go into more detail on like how to schedule out a newborn and a toddler and how to make that work if that's something you guys are interested in. But this is the page I've been doing it on. It's just a 2-column page. I split the large column into 2 sections, and I just map out when my baby needs to eat, what activities my toddler can be doing, and I try to kind of change those up for each nursing session throughout the day so that it keeps him interested. And I also tend to change the location that I'm nursing in. Again, to try to keep it interesting and different for the toddler so that he can be content with that. And then I also planned out the highlighted things are times when I can try to get something done. So first thing in the morning before my kids are awake, I try to get something done. There's a little section in the midday where I try to have my toddler do independent play, and the baby is doing his activity gym where I can have a few minutes to get something done. I try to coordinate both of their naps, their afternoon naps at the same time to get some things done. And then when my husband gets home, I just have the baby so I can get some things done, and he really focuses on playing with Nolan for a little bit with my toddler. So that's a very helpful page to have. Again, none of this has to be in any particular planner. They're just general planning tools that can be so helpful with adjusting to having a new baby. I also have my first year photos plan. So these are things that I try to do throughout the first year of baby's life, is to write down and make sure I take pictures or videos of these different milestones each month. I want to make sure that I'm taking notes on, you know, things that are going on that month for the baby, for his baby book, and then also take a photo each month for his baby book. Holidays, I don't want to miss any of those and miss getting, you know, a special first Christmas picture, first Thanksgiving picture, etc. So that's a helpful page just so I can check things off and make sure I'm, you know, documenting things and keeping track of things for the baby book. There's my notes for that. And then the rest of this section is mostly pertaining to my toddler. Those are the main things that I have for my baby right now. So those are the different planning tools that I have here in my Filofax that have really helped me to prepare for and adjust to life with another baby, with a new baby. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing inside my planner today. If you have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll chat with you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.